In America, delivery riders are honestly, kind of chill. They cruise around in a Toyota or on a bicycle, maybe vibing to some DRAK, riding slowly into the sunset. It takes an hour to get your burger, and when they finally arrive, they will, "Hey man, enjoy your food." And the tip? 15%, 20%. If you pay less, you might get a dirty look. But turn the camera to China. The delivery riders, there is zero chill. For some reason, plenty of them are running red lights. They are always in a rush. It's scary. If you stand at any intersection in Shanghai for 5 minutes, just stare at that traffic light. The moment it's about to turn green, or even before, boom, they launch. It's like an action movie. They are running like crazy. Do they have a death wish? No. It's not that they want to act this way. It's because they can't afford to stop. The moment they slow down, the system's countdown starts ticking in their minds like a time bomb. This whole system creates a special speed. Just like every magic trick, there's a secret behind it. In this video, I'm going to reveal that secret to you. Suddenly, I want a coffee, but I have absolutely zero desire to step outside. Here in China, I just open a delivery app, Meituan or Ulama, and order. Watch, I'm placing the order now. And I bet you, within 20 minutes, a guy in a uniform will be handing a steaming hot coffee right to my doorstep. Now, look at the delivery fee. 0. Or maybe 2 or 3 RMB. That is like 30 cents US currency. No tipping required, no service fees, and there are even money off coupons. It actually works out cheaper than going to the store yourself. You see, for us consumers, this is a perfect world. It's a frictionless, magical world. In this world, the only thing between hunger and satisfaction is the tap of a finger and a 20-minute wait. But here is the catch. The fuel for this magic isn't electricity or code. It's flesh and blood. Let's take our eyes off that coffee cup for a second and put on this blue helmet. Welcome to the algorithmic panopticon. Here, the boss isn't human. It's an algorithm, lines of code. It has no emotions, only data. How did this happen? The algorithm didn't turn evil overnight. It was trained through usage. There's a terrifying process at play here, something I call system learned. Go back a few years. In the beginning, to deliver an order, the system calculated that 45 minutes was a reasonable time based on map data. Riders were tired, but they could still catch their breath. But then, things changed a little bit. There were a few delivery kings who wanted to earn those extra few bucks from rush order reward, or they wanted that on-time rate badge. They went all out, perhaps due to urgent family needs or emergencies. They ran red lights, skipped meals, dashed around like mad, and even rode the wrong way down one-way streets. There were perhaps tens of thousands of riders pushing themselves just as hard, and they managed to cut the time down to 38 minutes. At this point, the back-end AI algorithm's eyes lit up. The system thought,
wait a minute, so 45 minutes was too generous? 40 minutes is physically possible? No need to wait for elevators? Good. Algorithm updated.
The very next day, the standard delivery time for every rider on this route is adjusted to 40 minutes, even for the guy who just wants to drive safely. Then, someone even more desperate clocks in at 38 minutes. The algorithm learns again. It tightens the screws again. This is involution. It's not the boss standing over you with a whip. It is your peers, the people right next to you, using their own lives to squeeze out your room for survival. The data generated by the riders becomes the chain around their own necks. A 45-minute trip becomes a 30-minute trip. The margin for error that used to exist has turned into zero tolerance. Heavy rain, overwhelmed restaurants, elevators that never arrive, and that security guard who won't let riders inside the gate. The algorithm doesn't care. Is there a wall in front? Is it a gated community with no entrance? Because one rider on the platform made it that fast, in the algorithm's logic, it defaults that you can do it too, but you cannot debate with code. Late is late. And the consequences? In the US, a bad review is annoying. China, it is a death spiral. One bad review means you lose access to the good, high-paying orders. You get fined half a day's wages. You need to complete plenty of perfect orders just to fix your score. To avoid being late, to avoid the pay cuts, they have no choice but to risk their lives, taking dangerous shortcuts, riding against traffic, racing with death. That's why you see them weaving through traffic like magic. And this is where the story holds the most tension. Who are these delivery riders? Uneducated? Unable to find other work? Drifters? Maybe. That's what you think. When you order a salad from your high-rise office, that person bringing it up to you, before he put on that helmet, he might have just sent out his 100th resume. He might have read more books than you have. He could be a master's graduate, maybe even a PhD. And the result? Rejected. No reply. Ghosted. The age 35 curse. If you are over 35 in the tech industry, you are considered expired goods. Big tech layoffs, cost cutting and efficiency boosting. Reality is like a slap in the face, one that knocked him out of that office building and right onto the asphalt of the street. To survive, to pay the mortgage, the former elite has no choice but to swallow his pride, bend his back, and chase those few yuan in delivery fees. Do you think this is just about the riders? The fire isn't just in the kitchen. It is already burning under everyone's chair. But right now, in China, let's face a reality. The market here demands faster than Amazon Prime, better quality than luxury brands, and cheaper than a dollar store. So, how do we do it? There is only one way. Don't think this is just about factory workers. Even the professionals in high-rise offices aren't safe. Take a graphic designer. In the past, a project might take 3 days and pay $1,500, but now, a client says, hey, that guy next door can do it in 1 day for half the price, and he includes 3D rendering. So, you panic. You look at your mortgage bill. To get the job, you grit your teeth. You match the low price. You promise the 24-hour deadline. You don't sleep. You chug coffee. You throw yourself into this furnace called efficiency. The market price for design crashes. Deadlines shrink. The clients are happy. The bosses are happy. The algorithm says, industry efficiency has improved. But you are working twice as hard for half the money. Here is the terrifying truth. People are all building a hell for each other. Because when you clock out, drag your tired body home, and don't want to cook, you open a food delivery app. Subconsciously, what do you filter for? Fastest delivery, lowest price, highest rating. At that exact moment, they switched sides. The victim becomes the abuser holding the whip. You want that rider to fly to you like Superman, but you also want the delivery fee to be zero. The rider is struggling. The designer is struggling. The factory worker is struggling. Everyone are all participating in a race to the bottom, lowering our own baselines just to meet a standard that is becoming impossible. If you thought what I just said was just frustration, get ready. Because now, I'm talking about the shattering of dignity. It's the kind of sound that breaks your heart just by listening to it. August 2024, Hangzhou. A delivery rider, desperate to avoid a late fee, which could cost him half his day's earnings, jumped over a residential fence like a parkour athlete. But the security guard caught him and took his bike keys. Then, we maybe saw the most heartbreaking moment of the Chinese internet in 2024. In broad daylight, surrounded by a crowd, the rider dropped to his knees. He begged. Look at them. One is running for his life to serve the middle class. The other is standing guard to protect the middle class. Two men from the bottom of society, both earning minimum wage. But, in the last 100 meters of delivery, a civil war of the working class broke out. They should be brothers, but the algorithm forced them to be enemies. This is the price of speed. Every time we tap hurry up, we are tightening the spring around their necks. But humans are not machines. Even trapped in the algorithm, the soul tries to sing. There is a writer named Wang Jibing. He rode 90,000 miles and wrote 4,000 poems. He wrote, "People in a hurry have no seasons. only one stop and the next. But behind this poem, there is a heavier story. Remember the king of riders I mentioned? The 55-year-old top performer in Hangzhou? He worked 16 to 18 hours a day. One day, he fell asleep on his e-bike. Passers-by thought he was resting, but he never woke up. He left this world like a toy with its battery drained, quietly stopped on the side of the road. Maybe this story's a bit heavy, but here's the good news. The winds are finally changing. By 2025, delivery giants like Meituan and Eli.me started removing late fines. Instead, they use a service score system. Maybe it's just a different kind of control, but at least the sharp knife of money punishment isn't hanging over their heads anymore. So, the next time you see videos on YouTube or TikTok bragging about the China miracle or how fast the delivery is, I hope you can pause for a second. Think about those missing minutes. Think about the rider who had to kneel down just to do his job. This coffee might look cheap on the menu, but the hidden cost, the one not on the receipt, is way higher than we imagine. So this cup isn't for the speed. It's for every soul trapped in the system who keeps running anyway. Cheers.